The story shortly, but first, religious minorities, especially the Christian community, are often targeted by terrorists in Pakistan. The state also discriminates against them through laws, and society doesn't treat them equally. Wion's Pakistan Bureau Chief Taha Siddiqui visited Pakistan's largest Christian community. Here's the report.
In this church on the outskirts of Lahore city, Christians gather for morning prayers. But before they enter the premises, they have to undergo a security check. Police are also on standby.
Christian community के लिहाज से हमारे ये है कि बस दहशतगर्दी का बहुत है, जो ये कुछ भी नहीं देख रहे आजकल। ये मैं तो ये कह रही, इसलिए हमारे लड़के वॉलंटियर खड़े होते हैं। हमारी टीम में तकरीबन 30 से 35 लड़के हैं जो वॉलंटियर करते हैं सिक्योरिटी, ठीक है। लेकिन और उसके साथ हमारी लेडीज़ भी 20 से 25 लेडीज़ हैं जो वॉलंटियर खड़ी होती हैं सिक्योरिटी, हमारे साथ शाना बिशाना खड़ी होती हैं। हाई अलर्ट है, चर्चिज़ पर ज़्यादा अटैक किया जा रहा है। अभी पिछले दिनों कोयटा में इन्होंने चर्च को कर दिया था अटैक। अभी उसके पहले 15 मार्च को इधर जहानाबाद में किया। फिर काफ़ी ज़्यादा इस वजह से हालात ज़्यादा टफ हैं, इसलिए हम वॉलंटियर खड़े हुए हैं और अपने चर्चिज़ की हिफाजत के लिए खड़े हुए हैं।
This church was attacked in 2015 when suicide bombers tried to force their way into it and another one nearby. Today, those who are attending the prayers feel safer.
कुछ जब पहले दहशतगर्दी नहीं थी, जब हुई है तो उसके बाद काफ़ी गवर्नमेंट ऑफ पंजाब ने हमारी सिक्योरिटी अप्रूव की है और हमारे अपने जो सिक्योरिटी के मेंबरान हैं वो भी बड़े अलर्ट रहते हैं और खुदा उनका शुक्र है कि उनमें बहुत हिम्मत है।
खुदा उनको हिम्मत ताकत दे और जज्बा पैदा करे चर्च जाने। डर खौफ रखने की कोई ज़रूरत नहीं, हम नहीं डरते।
खुदा ना करे कोई ऐसा वाक़या हो, लेकिन ये एक हुकूमत पंजाब ने और पुलिस सिक्योरिटी ने काफ़ी अच्छा इंतज़ाम किया कि ऐसा वाक़या ना हो। तो बाकी दुश्मन का तो कोई एतबार नहीं है कि वो कहाँ पे कोई अटैक कर दे।
Some, however, feel that there is no future for religious minorities in Pakistan and it is best to leave the country.
वो इसी वजह से डर जा रहे हैं कि डर है इधर कि दहशतगर्द इधर बहुत है जी। क्रिश्चियनों के चर्चों में बम धमाका हो जाता है।
गुस्सा भी आता है, गम भी होता है कि इनको ऐसे नहीं करना चाहिए। हमारे त्यौहार जो है अच्छे तरीके से गुजरने चाहिए जी, अच्छे कुछ सलीबी से मसन का अमान से मसन के रहना चाहिए सबको।
Father Francis, who was also present at the church when the bombing happened, emphasizes interfaith harmony. Even after the latest attack in December 2017 on a church in Quetta, he feels that love can unite everyone.
वो भी हमारे भाई हैं दहशतगर्द, शायद उनकी रहनुमाई गलत हुई, उन्हें किसी ने गलत गाइड किया कि हम इंसानियत के दुश्मन जो हो जाएं, उनको ज़रूरत है तरबियत की और खुदा चाहता है कि हम एक दूसरे की मदद करें। जिस तरह कोयटा के जो वाक़या हुआ है इसके बाद और उसके बाद हम मसीहों ने तो हमें यही पैगाम दिया, ये क्रिसमस का मौसम है, यीशु मसीह ने सबको प्यार का दावत दी है, तो कोई बात नहीं, हम उन्होंने कहा है कि अपने दुश्मनों के लिए दुआ करो, तो हम उनके लिए दुआ करते हैं।
One of the victims of the suicide bombing was Akash. He stopped the bomber from entering the church. Today, in a tribute to his sacrifice, this memorial has been built. His parents continue to mourn their loss.
15 मार्च को जब एक दहशतगर्द आया दरवाजे पर, तो उसने उससे एक अच्छी कुश्ती लड़ी और एक अच्छी और मिसाली कुर्बानी पेश की। बेहद याद आती है, जब भी याद आती है आंखें बंद करते हैं तो जैसे हमारे सामने खड़ा है, हमसे बातचीत कर रहा है।
मैं उसे मना करती थी तो उसको वो कहता था कि माँ खुदावन की मर्ज़ी है। मैं कहती थी नहीं, मुझे डर लगता है। जगह जगह ब्लास्ट होते हैं, तो चर्चों में होते हैं, स्कूलों में। कहता है माँ खुदावन की मर्ज़ी है, डरना नहीं चाहिए। हम तो जाना चाहते हैं कि चलो इस मुल्क से निकल जाएं, क्योंकि हमारा बच्चा एक चला गया है, तो बाकियों की भी हमें खौफ है कि ऐसा ना कभी हो जाए कि खुदा ना करे कि हम दूसरा किसी को खो दे। दूसरा अभी खड़ा है इधर, अभी भी गया हुआ है अरसलान, उससे छोटा जो है।
Activists like Kashif Nawab feel that threats are not just from militants. Christians are being deprived of their livelihoods, even in neighborhoods like Johanabad, considered to be the largest Christian settlement in South Asia.
उनके जो अपने एरियाज़ हैं जब लाइक योनाबाद या भारगुन इस तरह के टाउन्स हैं वहाँ पर भी जो इस तरह के बिजनेस है वो अगर सारे मुस्लिम कम्युनिटी ले लेगी तो फिर मैं समझता हूँ कि ये उनके साथ ज़्यादती होगी कि उनको मौका नहीं मिलेगा, अपॉर्चुनिटी नहीं मिलेगी वो बिजनेस कर सके, वो काम कर सके। तो मैं समझता हूँ कि ये जो अपॉर्चुनिटी, इक्वल अपॉर्चुनिटी और इक्वल राइट्स मिलने चाहिए, ये हम सब की जिम्मेदारी है एज पाकिस्तानी शहरी। मसीहियों के भी उतने हैं, हिंदुओं के भी उतने हैं, मुसलमानों के भी उतने हैं। तो हम समझते हैं कि ये इक्वल राइट्स और इक्वल अपॉर्चुनिटी जो है इसको इंश्योर करना स्टेट की जिम्मेदारी है। एक ऐसी सोच है जो ये समझती है कि पाकिस्तान सिर्फ इस्लाम के नाम पे बना, ये मुसलमानों के लिए बना है। तो हम समझते हैं कि हमें लोगों के एटीट्यूड और बिहेवियर को चेंज करने की ज़रूरत है। जहाँ पे ये सोच पाई जाती है कि सिर्फ ये मुसलमानों के लिए है, हम समझते हैं कि ये तमाम पाकिस्तानियों के लिए है, वो किसी भी रंग मजहब से अकीदे से तल्लुक़ रखता हो। क्योंकि जब कायदे पाकिस्तान ने ये बात कह दी थी तो फिर हम समझते हैं कि हमें उसको बे करने की ज़रूरत है। हमें उस वाले मिशन को, उस वाले विजन को आगे लेके चलने की ज़रूरत है ताकि हम पाकिस्तान को जना का पाकिस्तान बना सकें।
In its recent 2017 report, Human Rights Watch has said that in Pakistan, religious minorities continue to face violent attacks, insecurity and persecution, with the government failing to provide adequate protection and hold perpetrators accountable. Although it's a festive season for the Christian community, the celebrations are overshadowed by security concerns given the threat to this religious minority. This is Taha Siddiqui with cameraman Rao Bilal reporting for Wion from Lahore.
All right, to get perspective on this story, let's go to our correspondent, our Islamabad Bureau Chief Taha Siddiqui, joining us right now, as well as Zaman Khan, the former coordinator for the Human Rights Commission from Islamabad. Thank you both for joining us. Taha, we'll start with you. The plight of the situation there, you were on the ground, you heard a lot of those stories, and what was it like? Was there a recurring theme that you heard when you visited some of those victims who say they live in fear?
Well, Arshid, one of the things that amongst all of these people when I was talking to them was that they did not want to really talk negatively about Pakistan, and it was pretty hard to get statements from them which would they would criticize their own situation. Most of them, when I would talk to them, they were saying that the situation is okay for us, it's not that bad. Then off camera, they actually be saying things like, things are bad, but on camera we do not want to say that because we're already in trouble, and perhaps they do not want to get more into trouble because the Christian community is already so persecuted. So because of that, most of these people that I spoke to, on camera they sounded positive and more optimistic, and off camera it was a completely different story altogether. And that's my struggle was while reporting on this story, that even one of the interviews, if you saw, one of the mothers said that she wants to leave the country. When I finished that interview, the relatives of that family came up to me and said that she said this, but it doesn't look good. I understand that she wants to leave, but she's in this emotional state, and we should maybe not run this part of the interview. So there was this constant struggle talking to these people about getting the real idea, the sort of the real feelings out there on camera, because they were afraid to talk openly on camera.
All right, Taha, stand by. Let's also now go to Zaman Khan, the former coordinator for the Human Rights Commission of Pakistan, joining us now live from Islamabad. When it comes to the plight of some of the Christians in the country in terms of what has happened recently with some of the terror attacks, their churches being attacked in suicide bombs, what needs to be done? How can this situation improve? Is there light at the end of the tunnel?
Hello?
Yes, go ahead.
Can you hear me?
Yes, go ahead. You're live.
Yeah. Okay. Let me tell you very frankly, the situation of minorities are not ideal. In Pakistan or India, in all backward countries, it's not ideal. There have been problems with. They have been discriminated. There have been problems. They have been under threat. There's no doubt in it. But recently, there have been no such a Islamabad incident which you are mentioning. That's very, very old. But still, I think that religious minorities, it's not only Christians, but Hindus, Ahmadis, and others, minorities, even the downtrodden Muslims, they are not treated well. It is not an ideal situation, and I know. And at the same time, I would like to add It's very difficult for the human rights defender to work in Pakistan. We have lost over 5-6 colleagues in this struggle. They have been murdered, they have been killed, and they are threats, and they are missing persons. It is a problem. But as far as leaving the country, even every Muslim heavily downtrodden, or every Pakistani would like to leave Pakistan for a better future.
You also mentioned that the plight of the situation for minorities there is not looking good. It is tough. It is difficult for them. To what extent do you think the government is helping some of these minorities, if at all? What needs to be done to perhaps improve the situation for some of these minority groups?
I can't follow you.
The question is, what needs to be done in your opinion? What needs to happen to improve the plight of the situation for the minorities?
Please repeat and bit loud. I can't hear you.
Sure. I was asking you, I'm not sure if the audio is going through, but let me repeat my question. The question is, what needs to happen? What needs to be done by the government or other agencies to help the situation of the minorities?
I personally think that, sorry to interrupt you, I think there should be the rule of law, and law should be followed. And Pakistani constitution says all citizens are equal in the eyes of law. Even the founder of the Pakistan, Qaeda Muhammad Ali Jinnah, clearly stated that every citizen is equal before the law, and every citizen is free to go to their own worship place and live accordingly. But unfortunately, due to the Cold War and fight in Afghanistan, the best, tempered all the religious groups in Pakistan. Pakistan is facing a lot of threats from the terrorists. They not only attack minorities, they also attack the Muslims. They kill every day. It's an overall problem of the Cold War. It's the hangover of that. What I think Pakistani government should do, that they should deal sternly with iron hand to the religious extremists who kill the innocent people without any discrimination. They also kill Shias, Muslims,
right?
They also kill Muslims. They also kill minorities. I think government should change from the gear, from the old, narrative to the new secular, liberal, democratic Pakistan.
All right, Zaman, please stand by. Let's also bring in Taha again. Taha, in terms of what perhaps needs to be done, as we pointed out in the report, the people fleeing, living in fear, escaping, what should the government or agencies need to do or start doing so that it doesn't happen? Is there concern? Are these issues even being addressed? Is there any hope for those who decide to stay back, or not really at this point? What needs to happen to improve the situation?
Well, if you look at the numbers, the religious minorities at the start of Pakistan, at the inception in 47, were almost more than 5%. And now the figures are that we have say that the religious minorities population is, come down to less than 1% of the total Pakistani population. And it is because many of them have fled, rightly, as our report points out. Now, there is the issue of militancy. Definitely, the militants attack these religious minorities, and they know they can get away with it without much consequence, because at the end of the day, it's not the Muslims that are being targeted. So Muslims do not have that kind of sympathetic attitude, and why that is what needs to be addressed. The general population in Pakistan, when it comes to the feelings and the attitudes and the behaviors toward religious minorities, it is very discriminatory, and it emanates not just because of the militants attacking them or them belonging to another religion, but because Pakistani laws discriminate against religious minorities. There are special laws for certain sects, Muslim sects, which consider themselves as Muslims, but in Pakistan they're considered as non-Muslims. Then there are laws that sort of specifically target religious minorities, Christians, for example, in the sense that there are the blasphemy laws that are usually used against Christians. Then, for example, there's the objective resolution, which was passed in the early 1950s, and talks about how the head of the country can only be from a Muslim faith. So that also, sort of perpetuates the discrimination in the societal discrimination against religious minorities. And so that those laws need to be addressed, and that kind of awareness and that kind of realization within the government own circle does not exist. And because of which we see that, the laws exist, they discriminate against the people from religious minorities, and people also discriminate. And then we also see militant violence against them. So the overall situation needs to improve at first from the constitutional point of view, the legal point of view, from the laws.
Taha, let me also ask you, when it comes to this, is this specifically targeting only some of the Christians in the country, or are some of the other groups as well? Other religions who are practicing there also experiencing similar situations? Is this targeted? I mean, we know the attack in Quetta with the church and the suicide blast. Are there other groups perhaps speaking out, or are people just too scared to open out in fear of retaliation?
Well, definitely they're scared to talk about these issues. And I mean, the news coverage there is also sort of in Pakistan very muted, or it's kind of not extensive. And usually when we see, minorities being targeted, the Pakistan media tries to sort of, not talk about or highlight the minorities. As, for example, when it comes to Shia, which is a minority Muslim sect in Pakistan, every time Shias are targeted, usually the Pakistani media does not specify the faith-based targeting in that sense. So the impact or the effect of these kind of killings when it comes to religious minorities, that is not really, is not really grasped by the Pakistani population itself. Now, as far as attacks against other religious minorities concerned, definitely Christians are being targeted through militant activity and then also through blasphemy laws, as I mentioned earlier. Then there are Hindus, which are being targeted through forced conversions, through ransom, kidnapping of wealthy businessmen down in south of Pakistan, in Karachi and around in Sindh. Then we also have the Ahmadi sect, which considers themselves Muslim but is considered non-Muslim according to Pakistani law. They are targeted by society at large. There have been cases of mobs attacking their houses, taking away property. Then the Shia targeting also has been happening, where skilled labor from Shias, like for example doctors, engineers, teachers, they have been targeted all across Pakistan. So definitely, I mean, this is the phenomena of religious minorities targeted. It's across the board with all religious minorities living in Pakistan.